What is going on? How confusing can all this get? Because former President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta now appears to have told Gen Zs, Kaza, Kaza kabisa, fight for your rights. If you lose, you have nobody to blame but yourselves. Fight. Even my daughter Ngina Kenyatta over there, fight. Fight the good fight against the Ruto regime, against the current government. Now, hold on a minute. I thought Uhuru, Raila and Ruto were all in the same WhatsApp group. I thought these guys were three brothers working together against the rest of us. So what is this? What is Uhuru saying? Is this some joke? Oh yes, folks. Kenyan politics at the moment is not for the faint-hearted. It is not for the easily confused. And on my show today, we're going to take no prisoners. We're going to dive very deep and actually confirm a lot of things we've been saying on this channel. Yeah. But now with even more evidence, very solid evidence, that those things we don't want to believe, those things which sound like story ajaba, are actually true. Hey. But before we dive even deep into the show today, please allow me to go back to my previous video and a very super fascinating comment that I got. You know, there are many people who listen to this channel who understand Kenyan history better than I do. There are a lot of people who never miss a single video on this channel, who are much smarter than I am. And therefore, I would recommend that you pay a lot of attention to the comments area. On my part, I always try my best to keep it as clean as possible. Yeah, you know those government bloggers who come to pollute our comments area, which is supposed to add value to the video, wanakuja na wanakojoa ovyo ovyo in my comments area. Yeah, I always try my best to keep it clean. Yeah, but admittedly, I'm not always successful. So where I failed, just skip those comments and look for those gems like this one. And this particular commentator referred to the Anguka affidavit. Now, John Anguka was the only person who was ever charged for the murder of former Foreign Affairs Minister, Dr. John Robert Ouko. Yeah, and he was acquitted. And immediately fled the country and got political asylum in the United States. I believe he still lives in California. Bwana John Anguka was the DC Nakuru when all this Ouko drama was going down. Anyway, if you Google Anguka affidavit, there is nothing like that. Going back to my history notes, there is nothing like that. But this comment which was left in my last video refers to fax machines. You remember fax machines? Those gadgets that were brand new technology in the 90s, where you scan a document and it is received on the other side of the world, virtually anywhere in the world. Anybody who has a fax machine, using a telephone line of course, yeah, and it comes through exactly as the original was. And so, Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi wanted to ban fax machines in Kenya. Just the same way that the Kenya Kwanza regime today wants to ban social media. And back in the day, Moi wanted to ban fax machines because of the Anguka affidavit. And then I remembered the document. I'm sure the Kenyans remember it. It was headed Operation Bikini. Now relax, not that Bikini. Bikini actually came from the initials of a man called Biwot Kipyator Nicholas the first two letters of those three names, Operation Bikini, which detailed exactly how the late Foreign Affairs Minister died right inside State House Nakuru. Now, over the years, there's been a lot of counter-narrative, very deliberate, mostly from Biwott himself, using his money. Yeah. A lot of propaganda that will give you all kinds of stories ajaba. But the truth is, Ouko left us right inside State House Nakuru. And this document, highly sensitive at the time, was faxed from a telephone number in Uganda. Okay? And it was distributed all over Kenya, and especially in Nairobi. And I believe it is safe to say it had a contribution, yeah, to rallying the masses for the fight for multi-party democracy to return to Kenya, the fight for the second, unfortunately aborted, second liberation of the country called Kenya. And the way you received the document, many of us received it via photocopy from the fax, is that you carefully folded it, went into the bathroom, locked the door carefully, and then read it. Hii kitu ilisambazwa sana, so much so that more insiders got livid, they got annoyed. And the thought crossed their minds that they could actually ban fax machines from the Republic of Kenya. Okay? Of course, something which was impossible. Fast forward to the present. There are some people who believe they can actually tame social media. Okay? And of course, they have completely failed to see that the problem is not social media. The problem is UDA. The problem is Kenya Kwanza. Just like in those days, the problem was Bwana Kipiator. It was not fax machines. The fax machine was innocent. Completely innocent. You know, there is something about power that makes people blind and stupid. Where is Biwott today? What happened to him in the end? And even these massive riches and property that people are chasing at the cost of the masses, they're for what exactly? Actually, they're just useless. And actually, I can hear those people who know me very well telling me, Chris, you're saying that because you have nothing. Chris, hauna kitu. Kama ungekuwa na kakitu, you'd not be talking like this. Okay. Let me remind you of a man I admire, and a man whose life should teach us a lot. Former President of Tanzania and founding father of that nation, Mwalimu Julius Nyerere. Now Nyerere served his country selflessly. He did not accumulate wealth. He did not get rich. He did not send his kids to expensive schools abroad. And when the time came for him to retire from politics, from the presidency, and there was a send-off function at his rural home, people got embarrassed. This is our retired president. He doesn't even have a house. Ni nyumba ya matope na nyasi peke yake. Oh, this is so embarrassing. And so to cut a long story short, people started running all over the place, and especially the military, and they built their retired president a magnificent house befitting the status of a retired president. Now here's the kicker in this story. In his retirement, former President Nyerere was very busy all over the world, all over the country. He was hardly ever in that house that had been built for him at great expense. Indeed, if you calculated the amount of time he was in that house before he passed on, it would not even be 1 week. And unique great African hero Nyerere passed on at a hospital very far away in London, United Kingdom. nowhere near his palatial home. Yeah? The moral of the story is that we come into this world with nothing, and we will leave this world with nothing. And the problem that we all have is that we think some things are very important. And we suffer this flawed thinking while ignoring the things which are really important, like preparing yourself for the next life, for the afterlife. The people of Tanzania felt very embarrassed that the president did not have a house, and they built him one. But he never lived in it. Ultimately, it was a waste of valuable resources. That money would have been better spent in some development project somewhere in Tanzania. Because the truth is, in the end, Nyerere did not need that house. He did not need it at all. And so, UDA, let us reason together. Those things you're chasing for, at very great cost to the ordinary Kenyan, people are losing their lives. You don't need them. At the end of the day, you will not need them. Please ask a man called Biwott, and even another man called Moi. Please ask them when you reach the afterlife. Ask them how those things helped them. There are the things which are much more valuable, like your reputation, like your integrity. Now, those who have been with me for a long time will know the many stories I've told on this channel, where I've benefited from the good name that my late mother left, where I've benefited from the good name that my late political lecturer left. Now, these people are not perfect, but they did a few things that have stood the test of time. And I, their son, has gained from those things. That is much more valuable than any amount of money. There are some things that money cannot buy you, and I'm afraid there are many. Please, please, do something that will outlive you, that will stand the test of time. Like some Gen Zs have already done. Like a young man called Denzel. I'm sure he had many flaws. Yeah, but he did something that is definitely going to stand the test of time. And already what he did has outlived him. Anyway, this social media crusade by the UDA government, this dream that is not dry, hii ndoto ya mchana, that you can actually control social media, that one can actually control social media and stabilize a shaky government. This dream, anyway, all dreams are valid. Ama? Now, William Samoei Ruto, when he was deputy president, and his cronies told us several times that Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is not only a drunkard, but also smokes that big fat cigarette. I'm sure you know what I mean. So, had he smoked one of these fat cigarettes before telling Gen Zs what he told them recently? Is that what happened? I don't think so. And I'm sure many Kenyans do not believe so. Because former President Uhuru Kenyatta, despite everything that has happened, I believe retains a reputation for being a very sober leader who does not just talk for the sake of talking. Yeah, he says things which end up being accurate, things which end up being true. In the run-up to the 2022 general elections, Uhuru warned us, and especially the Mount Kenya region, about certain leaders, and people ignored him. People insulted him. Many people told him, Maliza Wende. Okay? All those are solid facts. But fast forward to the present. What Uhuru told us, is it true? Did it turn out to be true? I leave you to answer that question for yourself. And so people still take Uhuru very seriously. And he has addressed Gen Zs. And it would appear that he is inciting Gen Zs. Why? Why would he do something like this? And super fascinating, he makes these remarks on the same day that his cronies, Uhuru's cronies, are being sworn in at State House Nairobi by President Ruto as cabinet secretaries. Hey, does that make sense? What is going on here? Now, let us keep it very simple. What are you supposed to do at all times to avoid confusion? Simple answer. You start from the known and you move to the unknown. Okay? So what do we know? We have said on this channel too many times that this forced marriage of Raila, Uhuru and Ruto is a forced marriage by powerful forces. Now, of course, it sounds like story ajaba. It sounds like may not be true, okay? But the proof is always in the pudding. You know, in this life, we frequently find ourselves in a situation which is beyond our control. Circumstances conspire to put us in a place where we would not like to be if we had a choice. Very good example. There are very many people today in marriages that are a nightmare. Okay? And many will tell you, I am here because of my children. If it was not for my children, I would not be here. Powerful forces have forced them into that marriage. But the evidence will always come out. Those marriages are being exposed every day. Simple example. You go to a public function and the master of ceremonies says, our honorable guest, Mr. Kumekucha, is here, and now we would like to introduce you to his wife. And the woman stands up to speak. And the first thing you notice is that this is not a wife who is loved. She doesn't have any marks anywhere, but you just notice immediately, this Mrs. Kumekucha, she is not loved. And when she reaches that place where she's saying my husband, it's as if her voice is breaking. Breaking with emotion, but not the right emotion. Another quick example. Mrs. Kumekucha speaks fast, and she's introducing her husband, and she introduces him with her lower lip. She says, huyu ndo bwanangu, huyu, with her lower lip. What? Yeah, it comes out. She's a victim of circumstances. Uhuru and Raila right now are victims of circumstances beyond their control. As powerful as they are victims. And very sad. We the people of Kenya hatutaki kujua. Because even this great comeback I hear Raila people talking about, in my opinion, he is going to be shocked. Kenyans have changed. Kenyans wamemshiba. Very unfortunate, but that is the truth. And so these remarks from Uhuru make perfect sense. He is in that situation and he had a chance to speak. Na hakuweza kuvumilia. He had to say it as it is. Yeah, these people are robbing you blind. You only have yourselves to blame. You must fight. You must not give up. Yeah, I believe those words of Uhuru, as controversial as they are, will stand the test of time. Now, I've received some very interesting emails from some of you who would like to be members of my weekly intelligence briefings. And you have been subscribers on this channel forever, for a very long time. And so here's your chance, if you can act very quickly, to get a full year subscription to my weekly intelligence briefings. Okay? What that means is that you'll also get all the other previous WABs. Most of them, virtually all of them, have stood the test of time. And some of them, what was said in those WABs is yet to come to pass, but will come to pass very soon. Okay? You have this golden opportunity. You can see details on your screens right now. And you can see very clearly on your screens right now the current cost of being a WAB subscriber. But for a very brief period of time, and for only Kenya shillings 1,000, you can get 1 year's subscription and all previous WABs in your inbox. Pop! So please act quickly. Make sure you also text me your email address immediately after payment. You can either send me an SMS or even send me an email. And pop! You'll be in. You'll be a subscriber of my valuable weekly intelligence briefings. Please move super fast. You only have 24 hours starting now. We also have the very latest special report, which contains some very crazy information on the abduction units and also on the Tanzanian lady who was abducted. Yeah, you can see details on your screens right now. I've extended this offer for only 24 hours. No extensions. So please take full advantage of it. Only Kenya shillings 2,999. Folks, please always endeavor to do only that which can stand the test of time. Even with our human weaknesses, let us always try our best to do only things that will stand the test of time. All for a better Kenya. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.